Hello, Facebook fans and YouTube fans of DX Engineering. Happy New Year. It's 2024, and this is Tuesdays with DX Engineering. It is 1815 Zulu on January 9th, 2024, according to the large geochron in front of me. And if you didn't get a geochron for Christmas, don't worry. You can always go to the DX Engineering website and get a geochron Atlas digital and put it on your favorite the bigger the better, TV, and have a lot of fun with it. We have a very special guest today. It is our senior technical advisor, web guru, and many more titles. It's Rod K8RR. Hello, Rod.
Hi, Tim. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. And Rod, it's great to have you with us. You can troubleshoot for so many different areas of expertise that we have here at DX Engineering. But today, you know, I think the number one thing that you and the rest of the sales team, and even myself, I get emails about what about coax? You know,
That's right. That's right.
how long does coax last? What kind of coax should I use? I, Rod, I'm going to be on 2 meters and 70 centimeters. Should I,
Right.
is our G8X okay for that? And and Rod, how about this? I'm not as steady with a soldering iron anymore. What about these pre-made cables? So, I
That's
just
right.
threw a couple of things at you. What do you think?
Well, it's a pretty broad topic, and we have a lot of different kinds of coax. There's different connectors. People get a little bit confused about what works for what. And I mean, most certainly, it's easy to pick up coax from DX Engineering from the pre-made cable assemblies area, where you have the choice of jumpers or longer lengths pre-made with RG8X, DX Engineering 8U, DX Engineering 213U, and 400 Max, among others. I mean, we actually have a really full range of coax types, most of them with PL259s. Some of them are with end connectors in the pre-made arena. And then in a little bit, I'm sure Tim will put up the DX Engineering custom cable builder, and we'll talk about that a little bit. But first, I want to make sure that everybody knows that no matter what coax you go to on the DX Engineering website, whether it's bulk coax that we sell by the foot, the way that you see it in those pictures there, or the cable assemblies, that same chart that shows all of the technical details for all of the coax that we sell as a DX Engineering brand cable, and even some others, that chart is on every single piece of coax part number on the web, in the charts and guides area on the web listing. And that's what Tim has pulled up there, the DX Engineering coaxial cable reference chart that gives you the exact construction of each of the cables and their attenuation, their efficiency, uh, all of the details that you would want to know about the coax. Um, and so it gives you the tech stuff, but it doesn't tell you what to use where. And that's where our people on the phones are really good at giving you advice about what cable to use where. So, for example, to get started in the shack when you're first setting up a shack, most of us use RG8X jumpers. It's a smaller cable. That's the one that he's got there, uh, and uh, with an outside diameter that's smaller than your pinky. It's easy to use. It's very flexible. It's a stranded center cable, and it just it's supple. It works really well for hooking up a radio to a meter, to an amplifier or wherever you need to a switch. In the shack, the 8X cable assemblies are just fine. And also, 8X is the favorite cable assembly for people that go out and do POTA and portable operations. That there's a 3-footer there that people would use in the shack. I personally like to use 6-footers in the shack, so I have more room to move the equipment around when I pull it out and put it back in. Others like the shorter ones to minimize the RFI potential. But the 8X 50-footer is the most popular one that we sell, and that's because it's used by a lot of people for a lot of different reasons, especially portable operations. So you can, yeah, if you can search 8X right on the DX Engineering web search there, and there it is, that 50-footer. And that's one of the best prices on the market for an 8X 50-foot cable with DX Engineering's own next generation PL259s that are crimp shield and solder center for the best possible mechanical and electrical results. Don't forget to tighten up those shells on the when you put a PL259 onto an SO239. Of course, on the cable, the PL259 is the male, and on the radio or the antenna or the switch or meter, the SO239 is the female.
And Rod, if you have any doubt about how good these cables are, look at here. 5-star reviews, 5 stars, 76 reviews on these cables.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
that's it. Just
yeah,
5 stars.
yeah. They're just a no-brainer, fantastic, and of course people can't can't believe that they put an order in for one of these. When it's in stock, it ships out the same day, and they have it sometimes in less than 24 hours, or within a couple of days. Overseas, sometimes it happens that the things show up really fast because DX Engineering has an amazing shipping department that
So,
gets the products out quickly.
Rod, talk about 400 Max.
The uh, the beautiful DX Engineering 400 Max is a stranded copper center with a double shield foil and tin braid combination that has a gas injected foam dielectric. So it's very low loss. And these cables work great for VHF, UHF. They work great for HF. They're a little bit stiffer than an 8X or an RG8U. The DX8U has got very similar characteristics, but it's got a PVC jacket, whereas the 400 Max is a direct bury, works well out in the sun. It's an all around great cable. Again, it's got that 5-star review, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's the 400 Max is actually just a little bit. It's our own 0.405 OD diameter coax, which is that typical one that's about the size of your ring finger, and that's what Ham's been using for decades. Is that size cable for their long runs that go out to the antennas. Our assemblies have the DX Engineering next generation PL259 that you can see right there. The 400 Max jacket is polyethylene, so it's waterproof. So this is a direct bury cable. It's great UV protection, and our customers rave about it. I mean, it's even just a little bit better than LMR 400 in a couple of respects. LMR 400 is it's a solid center conductor that doesn't bend as well or as many times as easily, and and also there's an LMR 400 Ultra Flex that bends very easily, but its outside jacket is not good out in the sun. It goes bad in the sun pretty quickly. So this is the way to go. The DX Engineering 400 Max.
Yeah, that is one of our most popular cables. What about RG213 and RG8? What about these cables, Rod?
Right. I like to use the 8U cables because it's the larger size, like this 400. It handles, full legal limit in the shack if you're using a big amplifier, and it's very flexible. The 8U DX Engineering 8U is actually very flexible, but it's mostly used for indoors. It can be used outdoors. It's a regular PVC jacket. It's got good UV protection, and some of these cables could actually last well over 15 or 20 years. But uh, there is a common thread amongst some of the folks in ham radio that say, well, you really probably want to change it out every 5 to 10 years, depending on how much sun, how much bending is going on. And speaking of bending, for the rotator loops around at the top of the tower, the DX Engineering 213U can't be beat. It's one of the best rugged cables with uh, a regular braid and a uh, Type 2A PVC jacket. Actually, that's good for direct bury, but it's one of the best possible cables with its solid dielectric for use at the top of the tower for a rotator loop. And we also have the slightly larger, higher power handling RG214, which is a double braid shield. And then we also have RG400, which is a smaller cable. It's basically the size of RG58, but it's double shield, a tinned, no, it's actually silvered
Yes.
braid and silvered center with a Teflon dielectric. It's a super high power and high isolation cable for use around the shack for the elite stations.
Yeah. So you got all the different cables that you would need to enjoy amateur radio are here at DX Engineering. And Rod, I wanted to make sure that we talked about the folks that are in the chat room. John KC4 Lima Zulu November is on. Our friend Jimmy Cessna Kilo Bravo 8 November is on, and Lou Kilo Tango 1 Radio is on from West Virginia. Kilo Oscar 4 Alpha Fox Lima from South Carolina. And Marvin, Papa 43 Kilo, is on from Aruba. It's a little warmer down there, Rod, than I think it is here in Ohio and Western Pennsylvania. Skip Longpath says Rod is one of our main go-to guys at DX Engineering. He's a great source for ham radio knowledge and experience on a wide range of technical topics. And certainly you can always reach Rod via our 800 number. And if he's busy, he will call you back. Jeff is on from Curacao, Papa Julia 2 November Delta. Jeff is spending the winters down there. Again, nice and warm. Donnie is on. It's Kilo 4 Echo Kilo. I'm glad that you're telling what cables are. And let's see, which coax would be a good jumper for a 1.2 gigahertz repeater?
That's getting way up there, and losses are critical at that frequency.
Yeah.
Um,
How about the
yeah,
RG214, Rod?
the 214 would be okay for a really short jumper, a 3-footer maybe. Even the 400 max would be good for a short 3-foot jumper. But a lot of the guys will wind up going to LMR 600 or Heliax or Hardline. Superflex is used in repeaters, half-inch type or larger, and so there are there are cases where the the uh, the the great coax at DX Engineering um, is uh, is okay for short runs at those gigahertz, but when you get up there in the gigahertz, you got to get to something bigger and lower
Right.
loss.
And of course, for a repeater, that double shield of the 214 is really good. Papa Echo 2 Kilo is on from the Netherlands. And also our friend Gary Sutcliffe, Whiskey 9 X-Ray Tango from Unified Microsystems, good info. I need to check my older coax runs for losses and replace them this summer. Our friend Mike Murphy, another one of the DX Engineering sales and support team. And Mike has been doing great videos. And Rod, if you haven't seen some of Mike's most recent work, check that out. They're really
I
good
have.
on the
Yes,
DX
indeed.
Engineering YouTube channel. And Monty is on. Monty is one of our team leads and in our manufacturing facility. Nice to have you on, Marty. Good video, guys. John says, hope to see you in Orlando. Kate Delta Victor, another one of the DX Engineering sales and support team. Hello, Tim and Rod. Always field lots of questions about coax. Great topic
That's
for
true.
upcoming antenna installations this spring. It's not too early to think about that. And on Friday, we're going to be talking about Winter Field Day, and everybody needs coax for Winter Field Day. From Italy, it's India Uniform 7 Alpha Kilo Oscar. And let's see, Skip LMR 600 or bigger. Skip says,
Yeah.
check out the 3-minute fun video on the cable configurator. That's a great link.
And it's a great transition. We did want to touch on the DX Engineering cable configurator, where you can pick out whatever length coax and whichever type of coax you want, and then you could have the choice of different connectors at either end or same connectors, and that's where you can get special custom lengths made by DX Engineering professionals, putting on the exact right connector and the exact right method. Those custom cables are tested before they're shipped out, and they're often shipped out the same day you order it or within the next business day. So you could get customized length cables with custom connectors on DX Engineering cable, right on the DX Engineering custom.
And we're going to do a whole session on just the cable configurator, Rod.
Great. Okay.
And Vic is on here, Victor Echo 3 Yankee Tango. Rod, thanks for the advice on helping with the DXE rotator. It's working great. And Gordon, KZ3W is on, great cable. John, K8VNA, thank you, DX Engineering, for the stickers in my box. My daughter and I advertise for you. Also, I will be ordering another antenna. I forgot to take my other one off the car wash. Yeah, that does happen. Steve Miller is on. I need RG8X cable with male RCA connectors on both ends. It's not easy to find. That is not a connector that we currently offer on our builder, but there are good adapters for doing that. So you can go from the UHF male to a RCA male.
We also have pre-made 8X BNC cables. They're on, they're ready to buy. They're on the shelf and they'll ship right out. Not even a custom. And then RCA to, I'm sorry, the BNCs. So then the BNC to RCA is an easier adapter.
An easy adapter, yeah. And Scott Long is on. Nice to see the K8RR call. Remember that one from years ago with Doc Scheller. I purchased my feed line from DX Engineering. Thank you, Scott. And Scott is Kilo 8 Sierra Mike. Alex is on from Delaware. I'm sorry, from Florida. And it's Al.
We lost the feed from Tim. So I guess at that on that note, we'll just say thanks a lot for all of our customers, all of the support with DX Engineering, and we'll wrap it here for Tuesday with DX Engineering. For Tim, K8, K3LR, this is Rod, K8RR, and we'll see you next time. So long, everybody.